everybody? Welcome to the No Fluff, No Gimmicks, Raw Unfiltered podcast for entrepreneurs, specifically real estate investors. We are the Golden Ticket Podcast. Check us out at thegoldenticketpodcast.com. I'm your host, Jesse Davis, and my co-host, Jason Croto, a.k.a. Poppy Chulo.
Case you didn't know what time of the
Translation, please.
Translation?
Yes.
Papichulo, pretty boy, pretty face.
Something. Oh, see, I was told it was sexy daddy. That's what I was told by a girl one time. She said that was. Actually, yeah. So I like sexy daddy, but that's why I called you.
Like
I want to call you pretty
face.
Yeah, that's why I was calling you that because you're a sexy daddy.
What I was gonna say is I found this Knicks jersey right in my closet, and my wife goes, "Who's Sprewell?" And for anyone that might be watching, Latrell Sprewell was a Knick during the 90s who gained his notoriety after being traded for choking his coach. So if you don't know who Sprewell is, Google him.
Do you watch a lot of basketball? You like basketball? Okay.
If the Knicks are in the playoffs, it's game 4 tonight.
I didn't even know they were in the. Well, I knew playoffs were going, but
yeah,
I don't even keep up with basketball.
Obviously, it's the best of 7. So if they win this series, then they go to the championship.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's crazy. I feel like the playoffs that just started like a few weeks ago. I remember I was at a friend's house, and I was like,
like 2 months, I think.
I guess so. I will watch the end. Like I'll watch a little bit of it, but it's fun. It's fun to watch championship stuff. But to watch every game in basketball,
we don't endorse anyone.
I just love football. Hey, I love those drinks. That's LaCroix drinks.
Just said, don't say anything.
Copyrighted.
I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Are we getting out any dog food this week? Because that's what I'm looking
No, we're not. But I will say that I did buy some non-alcoholic beer to try it.
Ooh, we're getting close.
And
duels?
No, actually, no. It's an IPA. I want to see what it tastes like because over here, I mean, you probably over there too. But there's a lot of selections now. Okay. But I won't buy it again. Only for the reason is it's the same price as buying it's like $11. I'm not even getting a buzz off of it. But honestly, it tastes just like the real thing. But then I'm drinking. I'm like,
so this
is my second one. I'm like, I'm not even getting a buzz off here.
You're so close from falling that I can't wait.
Not even close, brother. Right. You know what? I have so much pleasure from not doing it. Like to even think about doing it, like makes me depressed. I'm in
no rush.
I don't even want to think about it. Yeah, I'm not even tempted. Like I had a friend over and she was drinking twisted teas, which I don't care for those, but still I was like, hey, it won't bother me if you drink in front of me. I don't care. She did invite me to go to a little country club, like a little bar. I was like, I can't go there. If I go there, I'm going to be way too tempted to drink.
Oh, yeah.
So, plus I don't want to, that's not my style no more, man. I don't want to be going out to clubs and stuff. It's not my thing, dude.
I'd be going with a bunch of friends. That's one thing.
Yeah. In like a special occasion, maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
Like every Saturday night.
The agenda. I mean, I know we kind of briefly.
Yeah. We argued about it a little bit over text.
I looked at it and I'm like, no, we're not changing it.
No, we're not. No, that's so ambiguous. I love text messages though, because you can't really figure out. But if you know who they are, you're like, I don't give a shit. I guess. But anyways, yeah, today we're talking about solopreneur, acquisition, disposition. And I like to say, hey, you don't know what those words mean. Acquisition means you are seeking out to find sellers that want to sell their land or real estate or anything that you're doing as far as sales. You're trying to find a deal. Disposition is when you're trying to sell a deal. Both have challenges. Disposing. There you go. Disposing. And also, I added in there transaction coordinator. Once you get a deal, it's like the middle person in the middle. But as a solopreneur, you do all of them. And we're basically, what's that?
I was going to say, I don't even think you should bring up a transaction coordinator. I think that is its own functionality. Of what it can or can't be done.
You're the boss here, man. I'm just following you, man.
Go. Dispo versus disposition.
Yeah. So yeah, like basically what you know, in this we talked about the hiring a few weeks ago, but they say, and this is what you're supposed to do, like hire the position that once you learn how to do it before you hire, don't just hire somebody, but hire the position that you really don't like doing. You know what I mean?
I
Do
don't
you agree
think
with
you
that?
can do this business. Let me just go on the record. So that way, if we're have a differing of opinion, at least I can say, told you that's how I felt from day one. You cannot get rid of the title of disposition until number one, you've done it full time for at least a year. Number two, you've done it at least full time for once a year, and you've closed consistently well over a dozen deals. And number three, you've spent at least 6 months in hiring and vetting someone to replace your income stream because
Mm-hmm.
you can't hire it out. It's impossible. I
Yeah,
said
the
my piece.
disp. Yeah, that no, I totally agree with you. I mean, and you'll waste a lot of money on hiring this person. I mean, we both went through that. I went through that last year. So, but really figuring out what you like to do. But yeah, I actually heard a podcast today. Was a training, Steve Train's podcast. I started listening to his again. Actually, my favorite podcast of all time. But I stopped listening to it. But listen to it here recently. He has some high level people. You can get a lot of bombs.
Yeah.
Lots of good stuff on there. But they were talking about scaling and about uh, what you should be doing. And a lot of times it's like, don't hire. They're basically saying, don't hire anybody. Like, just do it yourself. People just want to tell you, scale, scale, scale. Hire somebody. Hire somebody. But I mean, it's very difficult. I say if running a business, that's probably the hardest part when you say, now we're not talking about hiring today, but I say hiring is probably the hardest part. But act like what hat do you like to wear? What do you prefer to do as what do you feel like your special skill? I mean, you have a bunch of good skills, but what is your favorite, or what do you think you're the best at?
I think I'm the
I know
best
you're
at
gonna say.
acquisition.
I know
Uh,
you're gonna say that. It's so
let's
sexy. It's sexy being an acquisitions guy.
let's go through very briefly. I'll go first, and then you go. As far as, and I guess maybe fill in the blanks on what you think the roles are for acquisition. So
Okay.
your job in acquisitions, first and foremost, is to keep the lights running and a roof over your head, which basically means you have to be putting deals under contract, acquiring contracts, building rapport, following up consistently and religiously, pumping out proposals, following up again, and more than anything else, wearing the customer service hat as well until the day that the deal closes. I mean, it just goes without saying the other things, which is your marketing as well, whether direct mail, SMS, cold calling, PPC, pay per click, in case anyone doesn't know what that means. But the title of an acquisitions specialist is that they're sitting down in front of a computer and they are calling. They are following up on proposals that they've sent. They are negotiating terms and renegotiating terms of existing deals. They're also scheduling photographs. They're also scheduling getting that property on the MLS and various websites. What are they about? Jump in.
Oh, wait, so that's acquisitions? Are you
Yeah.
saying you don't think? I mean, I think dispositions. Once you think acquisitions personally, if
You're right.
you
Please correct me. Take off the
okay, this is
table.
what I think. If you're doing it yourself, you're doing it all. Um, but if you have someone working for you as acquisitions, I feel like they should be 100% focused on follow up, calling new leads, getting deals, talking to people, and then once they get a deal, if you have a dispo person, you flip it over to them. Say, hey, this will be your they'll be in a contact you from here on out, and then they arrange getting pictures, posting it, talking to buyers, stuff like that. I feel like acquisitions, like Because last year I had an acquisitions guy and I had a lead generator, and then I was Dispo because I feel like Dispo is the last thing. I don't know. Acquisitions. I mean, that's hard to hire for too, but Dispo is like I feel like it's more of a not a high level position, but
So
you're talking to
the next level underneath. How's that sound?
yeah, because you're talking to people who are buying. So you got to have good customer service. You're talking to people uh, that are maybe more sophisticated sometimes. So you got to know it's hard to hire someone overseas that could do Dispo. I'm sure you could, but also sometimes you just post it on MLS, but still you got to answer those phone calls from realtors that are already. I get them all the time, especially in Florida. They would say first thing is, "Oh, I saw you had this," and then,
Yeah.
but it's under your name. But hey, but it's not under. But they'd be snarky about it. But it's really under this person's name, and it was the same. Like, okay, I'm talking with
Right.
the seller. I'm gonna have a relationship with the seller, and it's right. So I think a VA, a virtual assistant overseas, it'd be hard for them to communicate that sometimes. But I think acquisitions, you need to be 100% focused on finding deals, like following up and everything. But and I think, I mean, as a solopreneur, that's what I am. Well, you are too. You have some help, um, but I'm having to actively go look for deals. You have mail that goes out, just kind of like I mean, mail kind of works for you. It's kind of like an employee for you.
Yeah.
You know, it goes and finds leads for you, and they come to you. I got to go actively pull a list. I just pulled one yesterday. Had to organize it, figure out who I'm gonna call first, do research on the property seller. Then I got to call people. So, and then if I get a deal, then but see, if you're a solopreneur, you got to figure out those are income. Now, making a list is not income generating, but calling people and getting hold of people, talking to people, having a list that I call every day that are people that won't answer their phone, they won't answer text message, none of that stuff. Um, that's our income generating activities. Building a website or filtering my list, all that, I could probably hire that out, but I know I want to do it a certain way. And I do it after hours. Do those things after hours, guys. Don't do that stuff during the workday.
We're digressing, and you were correcting me because since I'm a solopreneur, I got the two positions jumbled up.
Yeah. I mean, I
So
think personally, but if you're a solopreneur, you are doing everything. So,
1,000%. That hence the
yeah.
reason why I was rattling off a bunch of things, and you're
Mm-hmm.
hearing me, and I'm looking at your face, and I'm thinking to myself, what am I saying? Those are disposition strategies, not acquisition strategies.
Yeah.
So I'm so immersed in it because it's just
Yeah.
myself. So I think the biggest difference as we kind of flip flop to now disposition. So let's pretend, let's role play. So I am the acquisitions manager, Jesse. Here is the contract. It's been executed. Go make this deal happen. Get it sold and see if we can get out of this thing in the next 90 to 120 days. What are you going to do now?
First thing I would do is I would contact the seller and introduce myself. Say I'll be in contact with them once a week. Tell them the whole tell them the whole process. Even if you have already explained it to them, I'm going to do it again to reiterate it. Um, and then I would go. I mean, what I would always do, and I would try to get it as soon as you get a deal, guys. You got to get it. I would procrastinate sometimes. A couple of days would go by, get busy at work, but you got to like go get that listed ASAP. Like go to baycom.com, get an MLS, get all that stuff filled out, which we all hate to do. I hated doing that, and then get your pictures. Get on droners.io and get a drone or get your ad up there. Hey, I need some drone photos. Have a system for all that. I had a system. Like if you have a system, like this is what I do next. So uh, I would probably I'd probably go ahead and post my ad so I can get that going and get some people while that's posted. Then I'm going to go into Baycom, start filling that stuff out because it takes a couple of days to get that active on Zillow and
What's
Realtor and
Faycom?
MLS. Baycom.com is a flat fee listing site. It's $100. And honestly, I guess they keep your ad forever because I have a lot right now that I put on February of 2024 and people are still calling me. So I guess for $100, it's a lifetime.
Yeah, right.
We'll
So
keep
I
it
would say it's
forever.
probably the equivalent of like a brokerless, which I use.
Yeah, I like Baycom, and I've used other ones. I'll never use Broker, but I love them because it's so simple. And if you use it enough times, And they have good customer support, stuff like that. So that's what I would do. It's very simple. I mean, and then you're taking calls. You're taking calls. Hey, you know, they call. This is Jesse speaking. I always say this is Jesse speaking, so they know. Hey, you got the right person. And then just start going over. And but yeah,
You're not
that,
doing
that
anything else as a dispositions specialist, like putting them on marketplace and putting them on
oh yeah, I
different.
do Facebook. So I talk about my mom is trying to sell her lake lot. She's been trying to sell it for a while now, and I just actually just posted an ad for her on Droners because she was like confused, whatever. But anyways, but yeah, I told her about that I would do a Facebook too. I said I never sold anything on Facebook, and I want to know your feedback on it, is because it's like one of those places that you feel like you just have to. It's free, so why not do it? But man, the messages that you get are just insane, and it's just a lot of replying um, to tire kickers from my experience. Because I mean, think about this, guys. People who are calling you from MLS ad or Zillow or Realtor, those are probably a qualified buyers. More than less, I believe they're qualified buyers. People on a Facebook are just on there
They're
and
dumpster, what I call dumpster leads.
dumpster diving for land.
Dumpster leads. They're
Yeah.
the
So you
bottom.
don't know what you're. Yeah. Is this
I
still
don't
available?
dumpsters.
No, they would say, "Is this still available?" That little button you push on Facebook. If you're looking at
Yes,
an ad, guys.
yes,
Yeah,
interested.
yeah. I had to catch. If you do Facebook, guys, I think you should. If you're a solopreneur and you're trying to get a deal, I think once you get some really quality of land, maybe larger acres, I probably wouldn't put it on there. Smaller lots, I probably would.
I
You know.
think so. I'm glad we're talking about this very briefly during the dispositions strategy. So I think that dispositioning properties on Facebook Marketplace work good twofold. Number one, you're buying and closing on these deals yourself and offering seller financing.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, reasonably speaking, like I don't think more than 4 or 5 acres. I don't think any serious buyers on Facebook Marketplace trying to buy a 20-acre parcel or
Mm-hmm.
subdivide. I think those little infill lots, the 1 acre, 2 acre rural rec, I think that's who the buyer is. But again, I love the fact that I could put out an ad and have everyone contacting me, but the only viable way of selling those leads is if you've closed on them and you feel like cherry picking buyers and doing some sort of seller finance for them.
I was wholesaling all. If I was wholesaling the land, I would put it on Facebook. And it's kind of it's like
Right.
plug and play though. Yeah, but I think seller. You had a good point. Seller financing. If you're seller financing something, definitely put it on there. I would always offer seller financing, but I would offer them. If I bought it for 30, I'm trying to sell it for 60. I would say, well, it's $30,000 down. No one ever wanted to do that, but
Oh yeah,
I'm
me
like, I'll
too.
get my money
50%
back.
down. You want it?
You can
50%
have
down.
it. Yeah, for sure. $500, or I'd say, what can you afford a month? I don't care. As long as you got my money back, I don't care if you pay me $100 a month forever.
10% with a 2 year or
Yeah,
3 year loan.
exactly. So I mean, I think and you got to just do it sometime. I mean, it's almost like a copy and paste. You do your MLS ad and then you copy and paste it over
Right.
there. And I would always too, if you guys get photos with droners.io, if you guys need, I have a template, just a Word document of someone that gave it to me. It was of all the stuff that you need to take pictures. Like you basically just copy and paste that on your ad on droners.io. This is what I need, and then every time, and it's just they give you the pictures. I always would put I added a 45-second video max. I want nothing more than 4 because I can post a video on Facebook no more than 45 seconds, and then post that in your video on Facebook or Marketplace. That will be your first picture, no matter what. So then when they go to click on your ad, automatically the video is already going. So it's kind of cool. Kind of entices them. Hey,
Do you remember not the size? Oh, excuse me. Do you remember the length of the video when you would upload onto Beacon, or did you ever do any videos?
you
The
can't
length of
do so with MLS. I don't know. I mean, you're a realtor, but from my understanding, you can't. You can put a YouTube link, but you can't but you can't upload a video. You can put a link for YouTube with what they would have on Baycom. They'd say you can upload which I think is pretty clever. I mean, might as well get a YouTube channel. I mean, and just
Yeah.
put videos and then I never did that, but I should have. Um, but uh, yeah, I think marketing. I mean, what's your take on Dispo as far as marketing? I was talking to my mother, and I remember seeing her ad, and she had pictures that she took, and I was like, "Mom, you got to get some drone photos, man. You got to get the lot. You got to get the lot lines. Like when I look at land, I want to know where the lot is. I was like, you're not doing your lot justice right now. Like, get it to look really nice and professional. I feel like being well, okay. I mean, I'm gonna try here, but being professional in your ad and making it a marketable ad. So another thing that you and I would do is you and I would go to Fiverr, and there's a guy on Fiverr.com. That's where you can hire freelancers, guys, to build your websites, all types of stuff. Like just go to Fiverr.com, check it out. There was a guy that would make those uh, the ads for or the lots. He'd make
I
them
still
like
use them.
3D. Yeah, so he cost you was $13, guys. $13, and he would basically take Google Images like Google Earth. He could make 3D lot lines. It looked pretty cool. I mean, I did a couple lots only like that. Um, but let me ask you on that. So I like the drone photo. Like I'm willing to spend 150 bucks on a drone photo.
Sure.
I think it looks. I feel like those are okay if you're just. I did it one time for a guy that I was partnering with him, and I just did. I was like, hey, I'll dispo it for you. I just did this. I didn't want to pay to have a drone. But if you can't get a droner for some reason, but I think you can get a droner almost anywhere. I got a droner pilot all the way in Kentucky, in a rural Kentucky. But what's your take? I mean, I feel like it doesn't look as spammy, but I think a lot of realtors look at it and go, "Is that a real ad?" It doesn't look as good as drone photos, right? You
Yeah,
think?
it's funny you should mention that because I literally was trying to figure out what I want to do with these 2 or 3 parcels that I've got. And a buddy of mine's like, stop with those Fiverr ad photos.
Mm-hmm.
Spend 150 bucks. And I was like, I had a bad taste in my mouth with droners the past few months. I was like, let me go this route. But I think you have to just accept the fact that you're gonna have to spend 150 bucks no matter what
Yeah,
for
yeah.
eye-catching photos. Have to.
I mean, I think once you get a deal under a contract, it was so hard to get that deal. And I'm like you, I'm trying to watch every penny I spend. Like, but at some point you're like, okay, $100 for a flat fee, 150 to get some photos, 250 bucks to have in this property if I'm going to wholesale it. I mean, that's pretty cheap to be in the deal to make between five or whatever max you're trying to make. I always was like trying to make at least five, but on smaller lots.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Listen, you and I both know this one thing, which is you got to wear 2 hats. I mean, we wear multiple hats, but there's no way around acquisitions and dispositions when you're starting. I think more than anything else, trying to ramp up, you got to have to spend 12 months to 2 years just really cutting your teeth and figuring out the best methods for acquiring them and then selling them. And you can't hire out. You could hire out. I think come to which brings your point, which we could touch on it for a few minutes. The transaction coordinator. I think you can elaborate more on this. What can a transaction coordinator do for you while you wear the acquisitions hat and then the dispositions hat? What can she do?
they can send everything to title, and usually if you use the same title company, if you're doing deals in the same state, in Florida, I use one title company, which is the one that you use, right? Mitchell
Yeah,
Land and Title.
Mitchell
Land and the Title were great. They actually solved a lot of title issues I had, which I thought was really cool. But yeah, I would have everything sent over to the escrow agent, and I would have her email. Hopefully, if not, you just contact them. Email them is the best, and just say, "Hey, I got this." I would just send the email with all the documents, the contract, um,
Here you
and you
go.
try to
I'll
get.
figure it out.
Yeah, you'll figure it out. They'll help you along the way, but just you email them with the contract. Hey, I got this deal. I have a buyer. I'm a wholesaler. They know what you're talking about. If they don't know how to do an assignment or a close, then you just say, okay, thank you for your time. Do not try to teach them how to do it. Find somebody else. In Florida, it's easy, but some places don't know. But you'll find somebody that knows how to do it, or get on Facebook groups. Ask if you're in Kentucky, for example. Do you know a title company? Someone knows something. Plus, there's nationwide title companies that you can use, like Fidelity Title. I think they're nationwide, and they know how to do
But
all
let me
that.
just add in something. If you need someone to hold your hands, you're going to need to stay away from those national companies. You're just another number. I'll put you in the back of the
Yeah,
pile.
I've never
You'll never
used one, so I
succeed.
don't know. I
Is that
like using the. I never used one. I like using the at home, the little small ones. Yeah, that's a good point to point out. Use a smaller title company that's versed in wholesaling and double closing, and get a referral. That is like the biggest bomb right now.
yeah,
Is get a freaking referral from somebody in the state that is doing those type of deals. Don't try to recreate it and try to find one. If you can just ask somebody and get the answer, 100%
yeah.
the easiest
You'll get a
way
lot of
to
answers
do it.
on a lot of things that you might not uncover,
Yeah.
whether it's going to be a messy title after all,
Mm.
whether certain documents that you might need to go back to the seller on to confirm that they
Yep.
have it. So you're going to
Mm.
need a good title company for
Yeah.
sure.
And to be in this too, I think that going back to the different hats you have to wear, acquisition, transaction coordinator, and a disposition, it's going to be a lot of hard work. But the more, like you said before, repetition is the mother of all skill. The more you do it, I mean, last year I just had a system down where I was just like, okay, I did this, I got the deal, then I did this, and it was very simple. It wasn't a simple. I mean, at first it wasn't, but I had a system that I went through, and I was just. It's like brushing your teeth or something. You brush your teeth this way, this part, and that part every time you do it. You do. It's like you get a system down. So just learn. It's gonna be hard, guys. It's hard work.
Yeah.
Hard, hard. This is from Denzel Washington. He has some good motivational stuff. You ever listened to Denzel Washington before? Denzel Washington. This dude is super intelligent.
Yeah.
He says, hard work works. Working really hard is what successful people do. I've listened to this one podcast, this one video so many times, and it's true. Hard
Yeah.
work works.
Yeah. And I will say, great quote, horrible Denzel impression. But
That
I
was
will give it.
me saying it. Yeah, it wasn't really him. What else? He says, oh, it's something that, what's his name from South Africa? Was a South African guy that was in jail for whatever? What was the movie about him?
What's his name?
Can't
Not
remember his name, but what's his name did
Nelson
a movie
Mandela.
over. Yeah, there you go. He says, playing, there's no this is a paraphrase, but there's no value in playing small and not living a life that you're capable of living. I thought that was powerful too.
Yeah.
Like he also says take a risk too, guys. You got to take risks to win. There's no lot. There's no fun in life if you don't take any risk, right? Educated risk. If not, you just go to. I go to work. I do this. I do that. But I digress. In the
Top
words of,
5 words.
I know. I'm getting a lot of big vocabulary from you. Pencil in. I
You
didn't
got to
pencil
hear
in
something.
today.
We're jumping
What does
off.
penciling in mean? Will you tell us about that?
Say
Tell us
that again.
about. Tell us about what is the definition of penciling in. I told my mom and my dad about it. I was like, they didn't know what it meant. So penciling in somebody. If I'm going to pencil you in for an appointment, what does that mean? I
You don't
loved it
know.
when you told me.
I mean, I'll tell you what it means, but you don't
I
know.
know. No, you told me that 2 weeks ago when you told me about it. Yeah, I didn't know what it meant though.
I love it. Well, in case you forgot, I'm going to pencil you in for a conversation tomorrow.
And what does that mean when someone pencils you in?
Basically, it means I can put you in that time slot, but since I penciled it, I can easily erase it and put something else in.
Thought that was so good, dude. Because
It's
you
so
said
funny that
pencil
your
me in or
parents had
something
to
else.
explain it to you.
I loved it. Yeah, I loved the term.
I love
It's all
that.
these little New York. Is that a New York thing? Where'd you hear that from?
Oh,
Is that
I
from
don't.
New York? New
Just like,
York,
have you ever heard the
Brooklyn?
expression, don't bogart that?
I've heard that before, but I don't know what Bogart.
I'll tell you about that off the air for sure.
Ooh, okay.
But no, but the gist of it is
X-rated.
don't hog it, if you know what I mean.
Oh, don't hog it. Don't Bogart.
Don't Bogart it.
Don't Bogart
Listen,
it.
can you, while we're still keeping this clean, can you outro us and thank everyone and rattle off your 30 social
handles and stuff? And also, I want to do a summary real quick. We need to, but we also need to get back to talking about some deals because people do like that. What we're doing. Maybe next time we'll save a little time, maybe 10 minutes in the end of it, to where we can talk about your deals that you're doing, what you're battling with, and what's good. And then next time I can talk about, I don't have any deals, but hey, I'm trying to get some deals. So the summary, guys: acquisitions, all the hats that a solopreneur has to wear, and how to be the best at it, and where you could fail at it. We talked about all that stuff. If you have any questions, you can hit me up on IG, Jesse Davis, Jesse Davis REI on IG, Jesse Scott Davis on Facebook. Picture of me and my daughter on there. You can also check us out at the website, thegoldenticketpodcast.com. There is a form there to fill out if you have a deal that you need some help with. It's a JV form. Also, we have if you want to be a guest on our show, there's a form there as well. Please give us 5 stars. Listen on a podcast.
Give us a like.
It really helps, and subscribe, please, because it helps people to see us. And then we got Jason.
Yes, I'm your co-host. I don't talk about any of the social handles because, truth be told, I really don't care. But I like hanging out with Jesse and talking about real estate and everything and anything land related. So, yeah, if you're gonna do
Texas,
it,
baby.
Gonna do it
Texas.
big, yes.
Don't mess with Texas. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's okay. I don't even mind.
That's normal. You're used to this. That's your baseline, Jesse.
So used to it. It's been real, as always, brother. I look forward to this. So when you move me around,
I do too.
7:30 Eastern.
I know. Yeah, I got here early, and I was being late. You know why I'm not late anymore? Because I'm not drinking. Now I'm like, hey, I'm ready.
Get that dog food ready, baby.
No, I ain't getting no dog food. All right, guys. We love you, man, and we will see you guys on the next go around next week. Every week we ain't missing it. We missed 2 weeks so far, but no more. The holidays are over, so every week we're doing something. All right, guys. See y'all on the flip side. Bye, brother.